Hello, welcome to Lake Osa, a lake that is very special to me because here you will find the African manatee, one of my favorite wildlife species. I'm Dr. Aristide Takoukam Kamla. The first time I came here was in 2008. I was doing my master degree in wildlife ecology. So when I came here, I was coming to count the number of manatee that are present here. I was expecting to see manatee as easy as we see them in Crystal River. I didn't realize how much the species is elusive and cryptic. I spent 2 good months looking for the animal and I couldn't see any until I talked to a fisherman who took me with his canoe and we navigated around the lake and he showed me my first manatee. It was a very emotive moment when I saw this manatee calf surfacing and taking some air. I was also in the same time shocked that I have been there for a long time without talking to the people who could have helped me. I was setting myself as a big scientist who doesn't need local people. But since then, I realized that if we want to better study the African manatee, we need to do it with the fishermen because they have the knowledge. It's their daily activity. They go to the water all the time to fish or to go to the farm. So they have more chance to encounter the animal than me, the researcher, who is most of the time at the office and who cannot come very often because of financial limitation. So since then, I decided to include fishermen in my research approach. So I built this mobile app called Siren in 2015. And through this app, fishermen are able to report opportunistic sightings, not only of the African manatee, but of other aquatic wildlife like dolphins, whales, shark, rays, sea turtles, and you can name it. Today, we have more than 15,000 observations that has been documented by those fishermen. And through those information, we were able to advocate for the legal protection of 5 species of marine mammals, including the highly threatened Atlantic humpback dolphin. Lake Osa is a unique habitat for the African manatee. It's known in the literature as a refuge for the species. When I came here in 2008, it was very common to see manatee meat in restaurants. People were killing manatee without fearing anything. And I was sad to see that. So this is where I founded the organization, the African Marine Mammal Conservation Organization. And I trained young scientists like me who are now working for the organization. So with my team, we put in place conservation strategies, including sensitization, alternative livelihood, also doing surveillance with the conservation service. Through those actions, in 10 years, the impact was visible. Now, there's no single restaurant serving manatee food. And it's been almost 2 years now that I've not heard that a manatee has been killed in Lake Osa. But as we were about to celebrate this success, look what happened. An invasive plant species called the Salvinia molester. This plant started spreading in Lake Osa in 2016 as a result of a nutrient enrichment coming from the adjacent Sanaga River. The situation is very similar to what is happening now in Florida with the nutrient pollution in the Indian River Lagoon, nitrogens building up, coming from septics and providing nutrient for the blooming of algae. And those algae, as they're blooming, they preventing light from penetrating the water column and thereby killing seagrasses. And last year, because of the lack of seagrasses, more than 1,100 manatee died from starving as they couldn't get food. The situation is less dramatic here in Cameroon, although it's problematic. As the lake becomes enriched in nitrogen, this plant called Salvinia start proliferating, and today it covers over 40% of the lake surface. Before this plant, it was easy to see manatee, but today it's almost impossible to see the animals. But we are not seeing carcass, which is a hope that they did not die. They probably move into a different ecosystem. The Salvinia prevents manatee from surfacing and brave, and is also competing with their favorite plant species, Echinochlora pyramidalis. Salvinia has become the dominant plant species of the lake. We have the solution against Salvinia. First, we put in place a biological control approach where we're using weevil that feeds specifically on the Salvinia and on nothing else. No worries, it doesn't impact any other plants or lives. With the support of the Louisiana State University, we were able to acquire a batch of weevil that has reared, and now we are piloting the use of those weevil in a small corner of Lake Osa. But parallel to that, we are applying another solution, the ecological charcoal using Salvinia. I will pass it on to my colleague, Zanga Anik. She will explain you how it works.
Salut, moi c'est Annick Zangada. Je suis chargée du développement communautaire à AMMCO, plus précisément dans la production du charbon écologique avec les communautés riveraines du lac Osa. Nous organisons des campagnes de retrait de la Salvinia molesta avec les communautés de pêcheurs et des volontaires qui sont aussi affectés par cette plante-là. Et ensuite, nous transformons donc la biomasse issue de ce retrait en charbon écologique en utilisant des procédés très simples. Nous faisons sécher la Salvinia. Après avoir séché cette Salvinia, nous la faisons brûler à l'aide de fûts de carbonisation. Et à la fin, nous obtenons une poudre de charbon que nous mélangeons avec des lianes, ça peut être de l'amidon ou de l'argile, et nous utilisons une machine manuelle pour compacter des briquettes de charbon. Et ensuite, nous faisons sécher ces briquettes de charbon. Bon, cette activité est bénéfique non seulement pour le lac qui peut retrouver sa santé écologique, et nous la combinons à la lutte biologique que nous faisons à l'aide du charançon de Salvinia. Et aussi, l'activité va favoriser les activités des pêcheurs, parce que quand nous faisons le retrait de la plante, nous dégageons les canaux de navigation. Et à la fin, cette activité aussi permettra d'apporter du revenu. Elle est comme activité génératrice de revenus pour ceux qui la pratiquent, dont ils peuvent vendre ce charbon ou encore même l'utiliser à domicile. Espérons vous revoir ici au lac Osa. Je vous dis bye bye.
Thank you, Anik. So we hope that in the next 5 years, we will get rid of Salvinia using these two approaches. Now, let me talk about another actions that we are putting in place here to protect the African manatee. Environmental education. We work with students around the village to educate them on the importance of protecting the African manatee, but also the importance of the Lake Osa. I'll pass it on to my other colleague, Clementine Menger, who will explain how she worked with the students to promote manatee conservation.
Bonsoir, je suis Clémentine Menga, ingénieure en gestion des pêches et des écosystèmes aquatiques. Je travaille avec AMMCO en tant que chargée du développement communautaire. L'éveil de conscience passe par les cours d'éducation environnementale que nous dispensons dans les établissements scolaires et les sensibilisations environnementales que nous faisons avec les pêcheurs au quotidien. Alors, pour faire cela, nous donnons des cours dans des établissements scolaires de la CIL en terminale. Et nous organisons avec les élèves des sorties extrascolaires dans le lac Osa pour leur permettre de toucher du doigt les réalités que nous leur enseignons au courant de l'année scolaire. S'agissant des sensibilisations, la pêche illicite dans le lac Ossa se fait de plus en plus ressentir et cela mène souvent à des captures accidentelles du lamentin d'Afrique. Pour éviter cela, nous organisons des causeries et des focus group avec les pêcheurs régulièrement pour leur détailler sur les conséquences justement d'une pêche irresponsable.
One day, as I was doing some data collection on the lake here, a fisherman came to me and said, Aristide, why are you guys spending that much money to protect the African manatee? And now they're numerous in the lake, there's so plenty in the lake, and they are destroying our net. It seems as if manatee is more important than human being. Why are you not investing also on us? And I reflect on what the fisherman said, and he was right. We were so focused on the manatee without thinking of the people who live around the manatee and the people who can have an impact on the species. From there, we decided to include fishermen into our conservation approach, a community-based conservation where fishermen have their word to say. So every year, we organize a meeting with the fishermen where they share with us their priority, the thing that they would like us to help them with. And we've been working only with men, but also with women to put in place alternative livelihood activities that have been decided by the local community. Again, I will pass it on to Clémentine, who will explain how she's working with the local community to do this alternative livelihood.
D'un autre côté, nous avons les activités génératrices de revenus que nous proposons aux communautés pour pouvoir les aider à générer des revenus, étant donné que la pêche n'est plus très rentable depuis l'invasion du lac par la saline. Parmi ces activités-là, nous avons déjà eu à proposer aux communautés l'élevage des escargots, la culture des champignons, l'élevage des abeilles pour la production du miel, la fabrication du savon, du vinaigre pour les femmes, la mise en place même d'un fonds rotatif pour accompagner les femmes de la communauté. Merci pour votre attention. Nous espérons vous voir au lac Ossa de ces 4 pour visiter et découvrir ce merveilleux espace dans lequel nous travaillons. Bye bye.
So through all these activities, we have been able to achieve an important impact. Going from killing manatee and selling it to restaurants, today in Lake Osa, this doesn't exist anymore. Through the collaborative action of AMMCO team and the Conservation Service and other partners. And we would like to replicate this in other areas where manatee are highly hunted. The Cam River. And yesterday, I received an information that 5 manatees was killed in that area. And it's important that the approach that we have applied here, we replicate it in that area also, in order to educating the community not to killing the manatee, by providing them alternative livelihood, and also by supporting the conservation service there to patrol in order to dissuade people that are determined to kill the African manatee. The task is huge, but by working hand in hand with you, with other people who want to join this effort, we can have a big impact